Oregon State, am I correct? All right, we're ready to continue on with Mississippi State. We're going to go straight to questions for the two student athletes. And if you'll raise your hand, we'll get the mic to you. Let's go ahead and start on the front row right here.
Mitch Davis Show. DJ, Josh, tough loss, obviously, but what did you guys learn about this team and each other through this magical run that you guys had over here in Nashville to prepare for the NCAA tournament next weekend?
Josh, would you go first?
Yeah, we always knew that we can compete with anybody that we face. As long as we stay together and stay positive and, have that confidence and positive through adversity, we can face anything that comes at us.
And same for DJ?
Yeah, I say the same thing. We always knew we can compete with the top teams in the league. We just came up short today. It hurt, but we got all the momentum we need to go in the tournament next week. Try to make a run again. We just gotta regroup again. But this loss hurt because we want to be in the championship, but we just gotta move on and regroup.
Okay, let's come to the front row right here. We'll go 1, 2, 3.
Josh, I guess for you guys, coming in, being on the NCAA tournament bubble, you get 2 wins and a tight loss against a good Auburn team. Just how important, was it for you guys to really solidify yourselves and not, have a lot of uncertainty going into tomorrow?
Yeah, it was definitely important. We had 2 good wins, that helped us for the NCAA tournament. But we was more focused on this tournament as well at the same time. And we had a great opportunity again today, just came up short.
Robbie Falk with Maroon White Daily and Starkville Daily News. DJ, you mentioned yesterday how you hadn't made it to the semifinals during your time here. Playing that third game in 3 days, how difficult was that on your body? Did you feel it? What was kind of the feel of the team, you think?
Of course you're going to have fatigue. It's the third game in 3 days. But, the adrenaline kicks in. It just, going out there and competing and getting lost in competing, it just keeps you going, But I wouldn't use that as an excuse for the reason why, we came up short. But,
DJ, what do you think was kind of the difference in the second half that allowed Auburn to secure this one this afternoon?
I would say we lost our composure, especially myself. I allowed number 10 to get in my head, and a lot of us did, And I feel like we would have kept our composure, we would have been fine. It would be probably a different result. So that's what I would say.
Let's go second row, far right.
DJ, it's a little bit more rare to see a player stay at a school as long as you have. Now, what will it mean to you to potentially get to play in the NCAA tournament again and give it one more shot with Mississippi State?
It'll mean everything in the world. This is my second time in a row, and especially my first couple years in college. I went to the NIT, so, it's special ending my college career out the way that I want to end it off. Hopefully we can make a deep run.
Okay, let's go on the front row in the end.
Josh, it seemed kind of similar to the last meeting with Auburn. They really were able to limit you in the first half, and then you got going down the stretch there. What was Auburn doing to really key on you, and then how were you able to find those openings and get some good shots later on in the game?
Yeah, I wasn't as productive, the first half. Got it going the second half, but they just denied me a lot. We pretty much expected it though. I felt like we did a good job, to get transition points in the first half the way that we did, and to keep the game like we wanted to keep it. So
let's go to the front row right here.
DJ, Josh again. Guys, I want to ask you about kind of the legacy now, leaving that groundwork for the future Bulldogs to come. You guys reached the SEC Final Four for the first time since 2010 for the University of Mississippi State University. Just talk about laying that groundwork for the future. And, of course, Josh, hopefully coming back next season and laying that groundwork for the future Bulldogs to come.
DJ, would you go first?
I would say we in good hands. Coach James, he knows what he's doing. He go in there, him and the coaching staff, they put in countless work and countless hours trying to help us get a game plan, help us, go out there and do what we need to do. And, I say the future's bright. This is only the beginning for us, for the Bulldog basketball.
Same for Josh.
Yeah, it's definitely lit a spark, for the future. Expectations are just higher now for Mississippi State, and as they should be. The program, with Coach Jans, and they can do a lot of important and special things. So, yeah, the bar is definitely risen for sure for the future.
We've got time for one more question. Let's go to the middle in the front.
DJ, obviously tough result in this one, but what's the pulse on just how well you feel like the team's playing and the chemistry that you guys have going into the tournament?
I mean, I feel like we're making the right stride. You know, we came together at the right time, you know, especially after coming out the 4-game losing streak. You know, we came together and rallied together and got 2 big wins, you know, and today hurt, but, you know, at least we got some momentum going into March.
All right. We'll excuse you, fellas. You can go to the locker room. Appreciate it. We'll continue on with Coach Jans. So raise your hand, and we'll get the remote mics to you. Let's start right on the front row right here in the middle.
Coach, kind of to follow up on Robbie, you know, just asked there, do you get the sense that, you know, this team was kind of able to regain some momentum, you know, in this week, even though you go out on a loss, and how important is that, you know, as you guys rest up and get ready for next week?
Obviously, we played better, you know, down here in Nashville than we did the majority of, you know, the latter part of our schedule. Just disappointed with the result. You know, like I told the team, that you just never know as a player, as a coach, how many opportunities you're going to have to, you know, play for championships, especially of one of this magnitude. You know, they're potential memories of a lifetime for every individual in our program, and I felt really good about that opportunity. And even as the game unfolded, for the most part, I thought we had, you know, a real chance to be playing tomorrow, and unfortunately, we just didn't get it done the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game.
Did one of y'all have a question? Okay, let's go to the front row, the far right.
It's in a similar vein. Where do you feel like this team is mentally right now versus even a week ago after that loss against South Carolina?
Well, in real time, probably not very good. But in my experience, kids are pretty resilient, and they'll get with their families, rightfully so, here in the next few minutes. And then we'll obviously have time as a program to, you know, regroup. And I'm sure by tomorrow, you know, we'll have a little bit more bounce in our step, and, you know, hopefully, you know, looking forward to the postseason and what awaits there. But, you know, we had our chances. You know, we had our chances. We had some good wins down here. We knew today was going to be hard. Coach Pearl and their program is a championship level program. What he's done at Auburn since he's arrived is special. I mean, he's taken that program to heights that they haven't seen. It's very impressive all the way around, how people view his program, and, you know, he's the architect of it. So it's, you know, I knew it would take a good effort for us today to you know, figure out a way to win that third game in 3 days, but we didn't even talk about that. I mean, I didn't see it during the game. It felt like fatigue was a factor, but, you know, I'm not those guys out there, you know, playing. Certainly, you know, who knows? I mean, it's not going to come to fruition, but certainly tomorrow may have, you know, been more of a factor.
Okay, let's go front row in the center aisle.
Coach, I asked you, I think it was Thursday or Friday. Days are running together now, but Coach, I asked you Thursday, I think, about trusting your guys and who, you know, this veteran leadership. Coach, what have you learned about your Mississippi State Bulldogs over the last 2 or 3 days that you can take forward, not only for the NCAA tournament, but also for the future of Mississippi State basketball?
I don't know if I learned anything new. Obviously, we've been together since June for this particular team, and then a bunch of the guys have been here for 2 seasons now. So we got a pretty good pulse of, you know, who we are as individuals and who we are as, you know, a program. And but what I come out of this tournament feeling and knowing is that, you know, they have a competitive personality to them that's high level. They competed. You know, I told them in the locker room, we didn't lose this game because of your lack of want to or effort. You know, we talked repeatedly about leaving everything on the floor, and we did that. You know, we just had some things, you know, throughout the game. You know, we didn't make our free throws, and you're trying to, you know, win a championship. More than likely, when you're playing against high-level teams, that'll come back to haunt you, and they did. they made theirs, and then we just didn't take advantage of all the second chance opportunities, that we had. We had a bunch of them, and a lot of it, credit goes to them. That they're so big and physical around the basket. They make it hard on you to, stick putbacks in there. It sounds easy enough for me and most of you, but when you're out there with that kind of size and athleticism, and obviously the game is very physical, it's hard sometimes to do that. So, like I said, I'm proud of our guys. Probably not many people, predicted us to have a chance, to play for a championship, to be in the semifinals. But like I said earlier, when you get these opportunities, you got to take advantage of them.
Other questions? All right, let's go to the front row left.
Coach, you just had, DJ talking about, what you guys have been able to build at this point, and Josh talking about kind of the future of this program. What does it mean to you, I guess, to have, veteran player, young player, both, show that the players are really buying into what you and the staff are trying to do?
I mean, what are they going to say? I'm standing right next to them. They still got games to play, and what I've learned is kids will do whatever they got to do to make sure they get in the game. So hopefully, it was the truth. But yeah, we got great kids, and excited to be their coach.
Okay, did you have a question on the second row? Okay, yeah, second row.
Chris, obviously as a coach, you're going to have that one game at a time mentality going forward. But what do you feel like the guys showed this week, or maybe even rediscovered after that losing streak, that gives you confidence that this team is built to make some kind of run over the next couple of weeks?
People talk about our defense, and I cringe a little bit this season because from where I sit, I didn't think it was quite the level that we wanted, or that even last year, and certainly like we talked about the last time I was in here, some of the rule changes have made it more difficult, et cetera. But our offense has improved a lot this year compared to last year, and I don't know if this is correct or not, but there's a part of me that thinks because of that, we scored the ball a little bit easier. We had some, great halves, if you will, great games. And then, we kind of thought maybe we could win games that way. And, when we had the opportunity after the regular season to kind of regroup and actually have 4 days between games, with 3 of them being practices, that was our sole focus, was to kind of get back to the basic tenets of what we're trying to do as a program. And I thought we as a group took advantage of it. Our core defense, our principles, were better these 3 games than they were, the majority of the games leading up to the SEC tournament. So hopefully that's something that, this team has learned, and that, if we're hopefully given another opportunity to play in postseason, that we'll get that on the floor as well.
I'm going to take 2 more questions. Let's go to that center aisle, and then we'll go over to across the aisle.
Chris, as you guys kind of await that NCAA tournament fate for tomorrow around 5 o'clock, what do the next 24-ish hours kind of look like for you and the program?
It's a good question. Hopefully the guys are seeing their families, like I mentioned earlier, and I got a bunch of folks here as well, and haven't seen, my siblings, and I saw my parents for 5 to 10 minutes, and they're in our hotel. They get it. That's just the way it goes. But I'm trying to make some plans personally to see those folks that spent the time and money to come down here and support us, and then we plan on getting out of here at some point in the next few hours and getting home, and then being able to just let this sink in and sleep on it, and hopefully, like I said, get up, go to church, figure out what we're going to do on Sunday, and hopefully get some good news. Until I see that, you're not going to hear me say much about the postseason, other than saying the postseason. If you paid attention, I haven't said anything but, the postseason. That's the words that I've used. But and then, we'll see what happens and make a game plan.
Okay, last question on the front.
Coach, you mentioned free throw shooting earlier, and I want to ask you it's kind of seemed to be a plague across college basketball, not just with Mississippi State, but across the landscape. Why is that, and what is that fix? Because 10 years ago, free throw shooting was at an all-time high, and now it's where it is today.
Do I look like I'm smart enough to figure that out? Well, I'm not. I wish I knew the answer. I would help my team first and then maybe some of my buddies, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I know that whoever's in charge of our defensive free throw percentage should be fired because we're like either 13th or 14th in the SEC of other teams making free throws and percentage-wise, which I don't know whose fault that is, but it sucks to lead that category, and it's like you don't have much control over it. But I'm not trying to be coy or funny, but I don't know. I really don't know.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks. You bet.